Hello gamers, how to get gear. Now, first things first, in the current season and before next season comes in, the rule is kinda you can be whatever item level, maximum is about 4, 8, 9, but I will consider just the maximum as 480 because from 80 to 89 you gain nothing out of it, it's not worth the time and grind. You can do anything in the game, maybe except mythic raiding, and maybe you can already do it if you find a group. So yeah, in that sense, let's consider item level from 20 to 80, because anything 0 to 420 is instant. You almost are in that level always. When you have a fresh 70 character, you could be in the 300 or whatever, but you play a couple hours, like 1 to 10 hours maximum, and you are already in whatever high level. But at least 420 you gain almost instantly for 15-20, and that's when you start doing everything. At 424 you start LFR raid queue, you start doing mythic plus dungeons up to +5, you do anything. At 450 you kind of do normal raid and dungeons of whatever level. At 460 you're already doing +16, maybe higher in mythic plus. For sure you are more than comfortable on normal raiding. At 470 you already do heroic raid and +20 dungeons and anything in the game. Then you go all the way up to 80 to min max, and you don't care about 89. You can even stop doing your weekly vault and whatever. This is how it works. 20 to 80. The benchmarks are 50, 60, 70. Now that we know how the current item level works, know that you can do quests in the Emerald Dream. You can mouse over these things every day to see like the world quests and see which ones give you gear. For example, here you get a chest piece for 15, then you shift, compare it to yours and whatnot. So if you check this on your character, on either new character, alt, or your other characters, you can do this process. You can also have some daily or weekly events and whatnot, like the dream thing. In Taldrasas, close to the main city of Aldraken, you have this time rift. You can also go into the Emerald Dream, do the super bloom. All this stuff will give you gear, some of that 428, even 450. In the main city of Aldraken, there are 2 or 3 NPCs that will give you a weekly quest, and also at the Emerald Dream, close to the super bloom, there's an NPC of the event that gives you another quest, and in this main camp there is a guy that gives you a Warfia like quest. If you get all of those quests together, you do 1 super bloom, you complete like a 4-in-1 depending on the week, and you gain 4 big items. So in a rush, without even noticing, you'll be at least 420, 430 plus in no time, really fast. Now I'm going to explain you 2 systems. I'm going to explain you the catalyst and the tier set, and I'm going to explain you the crafting gear and whatnot. So, tier set and revival catalyst. On this thing you gain a charge every week passively. You probably just already have 8 charges. You don't see it until you put the item there, doesn't matter. But just know that you could have whatever chest piece or head piece, and you convert it here spending a charge, and the maximum is 8, and the piece will convert into this current season special tier set. So doesn't matter the gear you use, you could bring 10 different chest pieces. They would all be this Casket of the Risen Nightmare with the exact same stats and everything. Okay, this is why it's a special set, special skin and whatnot, which is really cool, by the way, on all classes or most of them. Now you're gonna see this 5-5 in yellow. So if you use two of those set tier pieces, you get a first bonus, and if you use 4 of them, you get the second bonus. You don't have to actually use 5. Now, one of the main things you are searching when you are making gear is whether if your quest uses just 4 or 5, because sometimes, like in my mage I don't use the legs, I use everything except the legs, so I just use 4 out of 5. But because the stats are bad, and there are some really great there is some really great gear out there that is better than the tier, and since you just need a 4 piece, you replace the bad one by something actually good. Now you can convert all 9 showable things to tier, but only this specific 5, head, shoulder, chest, legs and hands, are counting to give you these bonuses. So you just really care about 4 of these ones. For example, in mage you don't use the legs, you use the other 4. Then it depends on the quest. In DK it's a weird example where you just put everything tier. You put all 5 and also boots, sometimes even waist. You just put everything tier mostly, aside from crafted items. Even the hands, well, the hands are already, but I mean some people put the boots, like me actually. You put everything tier. So some quests are easier than others because then you don't need specific gear, you find anything and convert it. Now, when you are checking for what gear to use, you should check places like WoLogs, WoArmory, Archon, Marlock.io, wowhead, Icy Veins. You can even mess up with the filters, check the top 10, in this case DKs for example, on WoLogs and whatnot. Then you have links for some other places, check them on different places. And what you usually want to do is track like an average of everything and see, okay, does my quest use 4 or 5 tier set? The other gear, which is not from this main 5, is it something I'll grab on whatever? Is it craftable, or is it also grabbing anything and converting to tier set? You kind of make your plan, decide for each slot, and then you go with it. Once you reach an average of 460 item level, you can just enchant everything and put gems whatever, and then every time you replace a piece of gear you also put everything in. Before, it's not worth it. At that same 460 plus, that's where you get the consumables. More on that later. About the crafting experience, you usually will have something called Spark of Dreams. You can get one in the Worthy Ally quest, in the Emerald Dream thingy, and then you can get half of it a week by a thing called Splintered Spark of Dreams. But there's actually a comeback mechanic where if you just do dungeons and raids, whatever, you kill bosses, you keep getting them. It's random drop, but you keep getting them, and somewhat fast with a really high drop rate, I would say. So what you want to do, for example, in my mage I had 480 whatever, and then I started working on my Death Knight. What I've done was I went to +2 dungeons, just +2. The reason why I do something like this is that you don't want to lose time, you don't want to fail runs. If the others do 2 dungeons per hour, you want to do 5-6 dungeons per hour. You want to go fast and maximize the gains per hour. So you just do +2 dungeons until you have the maximum possible sparks in the current time of the season where you are, or at least the number you need. Then, since you already had the plan of what you use tier, what you will get specific item, or what you will craft and whatnot, like we spoke before, since you already have the plan, you will just craft all the items you need at the level of 463. Boom. Then you ignore everything, you just go to +11 or +16 immediately. Now let me show you something. Some people posted this on Reddit. I'll give credit in the description and whatnot. But yeah, so on +2, +6 11 and 16, there's when the crests change. I will explain that in a moment. But ignore most of this. The reasoning is at some levels of the Mythic Plus, you will gain different gear in the run itself or in the weekly vault price, and this currency called crests, with all these different names, it will change on certain numbers, in this case 2, 6, 11, 16. So I just do +2 keys until I get enough sparks. I craft all the items, and then if you feel comfortable you jump immediately to +16. If you are still on your first character, new player, you go to wherever you want, keep playing, keep having fun, grabbing stuff, converting pieces to tier and whatnot. You want to at least drop items in champion level, okay? So like you want to reach the confidence where you are doing +9 and above, maybe just to +9s until you get the 4 tier set to gain all your cool bonuses and special features that will work for your quest and boost you. And then once you feel comfortable, you want to go +16. Now I know that 17 gives you Hero gear, both drop and vault, +18 gives you Hero and Mythic on vault, and that's the maximum reward possible. There's no reason to do anything higher than 18. Well, you can do 20 for one time each dungeon to unlock a special portal that will teleport you to the dungeon, but then that's it. The whole season, forever, you just do +18. It's the maximum rewards in every way possible. Loot, weekly vault, and the other currency, which we'll talk about later again. But you don't want to fail runs or spend so much time or having stress. You want to just do +16 over and over and over until you get enough currency to recraft all your items from 63 to 86. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items craftable here in my case. So it could be just 2, it could be 10, it could be whatever in your case. But always, so again, to sum up, +2 until you get all the sparks, craft everything 463, work your way until you are able to do +16. If it's your alt character, maybe you are experienced player, you can just jump into 16 right away. You jump from 2 to 16, do all the things, recraft 8-6. Now next season these values will change a bit as they will shrink and more tiers will be relevant. You'll not have so many levels of ignored difficulties, so to say. Stuff will be more relevant and easier to grasp, but you get the point. Now let's speak about the actual crafting stuff. Oh, and of course the tier thing I showed you is here on tier old, kind of this left side. This is the main city, and also about here on this building there's the weekly vault where you collect prizes and further upgrade your gear. But I would rather sacrifice 1 or 2 weeks of the mythic version to just spam many 16s and gain the currency I was talking about. Now item upgrades. When you come to this side in the city, speak to this guy. There are many other places, but for example this one, you can choose an item. Well, in my case I can choose it for now, but you can choose the item and upgrade it in exchange of this currency called flight stones, which you'll get doing whatever in the game, anything. There are some better places, but usually anything will give you this. It has a cap of 2k, so you should spend on some time to keep getting more. And there's these crest things. There are like 4 different of them. Doesn't matter the names. The one you want to really target is this one, Aspect Dreaming Crest. Now one thing you should know is that once you have a higher piece of gear, let's say I have this trinket at 483, right? Then I drop a new one at 460 or whatever level, but also hero. I drop it at 1/6. I want to upgrade it to 6/6 to have this same item level. because I prefer the other trinket. It has different effects or stats. I want to use that one. Since I already have this higher piece of gear, right? The new piece on the same slot, this works per slot for every slot. The new piece of gear will not ask any crests, will have 100% cut, no crests spending, and will give me a 50% discount on the flight stones it needs. There's only a small caveat to this on a finger and trinket. Since you have two of them, it will count the lowest for both slots. Doesn't matter where you put it. You have to have two of them in whatever level to have the discount up to that level. Okay, so the minimum you have is the discount you get for that. Higher than that, you will pay the currencies and stuff. So that's why I have that strategy of defining the plan, what is tier converted or specific drop that you will search and until then use whatever, and what it is craftable. Because within the craftable items, you will save a lot of currency in these crest fangs and whatever. Sometimes you need to do plus 11s and up. So I just do plus 11, either 16 or 11 to maximize my time and gains for worm dreaming quests. Because hero gear up to plus 3, trusty maybe 4 will ask for this currency, worm dreaming quest. And then all the way till 6 and anything mythic all the way to the max will just ask for aspect. But the main reason you want these aspects is the other system I'm going to show you in a second. So previous system was for non-craftable gear. Now for the craftable gear, you come to this spot in Dragon.
My goods are crafted with
Speak
great
to the
care.
lady. You can maybe use trade chat to ask for craft and whatnot. You can. I'll give you a quick example. So you choose whatever piece of gear, and you would put the spark here. Put the items. Maybe select stats and whatever other things you want. And then you would join the trade chat and you would say like looking for craft. You can shift click to put the item there. You can even select the quality first to put it like this so that people mouse over and see what you're about, and they can click and see the stats of the item and whatnot. You can do something like this and post it. People will DM you and whatnot. There are several ways to do this. Just know that if you spend a week order, you can't guarantee the quality. I would always advise to do a private or guild order. You can even not set it, but it's whatever. It's an arrangement you have with someone. You will pay a bit more gold, but you will get the maximum stuff out of it. Also, there's a thing called embellishment. You can craft something with it, but you can only use 2 embellishments on your character, no more. You can then recraft stuff on this option and remove the embellishment, okay, with a certain powder that enters here. By the way, this powder is kind of for free on a really specific NPC that's hidden far away, or you can buy it at a really high price on the auction house and avoid spending 30 seconds flying to the NPC, because people flip this on the auction house like if it's a rare thing. I mean, good thing, but yeah, don't get baited by that. Just notice that when you ask for recraft, you need a person with high skill. They can just have the profession, or they will lower your item level. You can also recraft to change this thing, to change the stats and whatever. So you're not always making a bad move. You can always change all of it by spending more time and more gold. So yes, it is worth it to pre-plan accordingly, but you are never wrong. You can always correct everything. It will never ask you for the spark again or for the thing to raise the item level. It will just ask for whatever materials, and just cheaper ones, fewer ones. It will be just fine. These things will all stay here unless you want to change them and change the item. So just know that you have maximum of 2 embellishments to run. You should plan on that, and the other stuff will not have any embellishment. And all your other 63 gear you quick recraft, and you add this thing, enchanted aspect streaming crest, to go it to make it all the way up to 86 and convert it. Now I'm going to show you how to actually get this thing, and this was the conversation we were having about the crest and whatnot. So here on the crafting order, you just go down a little bit. We are still in the same place, like you see, and there's this NPC and there is. So you pay 60 crests for a nascent aspect. Then with this new thing, you will do a crafting order to make it enchanted version. You have to spend some materials. It's a high cost of gold, but yeah, it's totally worth it. Oh, this is something whatever. Enchanted aspect, dreaming crest. So you spend the materials, make the order. This one has no quality. This is just whatever item. So you can just make public order, put whatever, like 500 gold. Someone will make it really fast, and you get the new version, the enchanted. This is what you add to the item to recraft it, or also in the first craft, doesn't matter, and put it up to 486. Then if you ever want to recraft again, I will say you will not need to spend any of these or the spark. It will stay there forever. You can change the stats, the embellishments, you can change anything you want with it. You'll not have any problems, and it will be less stuff, cheaper stuff, and the big thing of this and the spark, never spend it again. So you're Gucci. Now when you want to craft something, you can click on this option, track recipe, and it will appear here, like if it's a quest. Then you go to the optionals, which is conveniently right here, really close. See it?
My wares were
And
made
now
with knowledge.
You can click on this thing that we are tracking. For some reason it's not showing up.
Go in wisdom. Do you seek knowledge? Come see me again. We will not repeat our history.
Okay, maybe I'm bugged or whatever, but you would usually be able to open a window and shift click the name to appear on the optionals. But regardless, we have it here. Sometimes I used to print it and alt tab or have another screen, whatever, or type in chat in a party and remember. But you can track the recipe, just know that you can do it. It will save you a ton of time and be worth it. Make care checking you're buying the correct stuff. When you're asking for the Dreaming Crest, for example, since it has no quality, you can just buy whatever is cheaper. But when it's a crafting item, to make sure it becomes the maximum item level, you need always the maximum quality materials on everything. And if it asks 3 or 10 or 20, all of them in everything max quality. You just buy it on the optionals, then pick them up on the mailbox. Well, I don't need to do this fancy thing. It's right here outside, and you grab it. Boom, it's done. Also, since we are further into the season, this NPC Vindormi has a special store for you where you can buy this box for 350 flight stones. You can buy a lot of them in all your characters as long as they have, I think it's 1k of rating in dungeons, which should be pretty easy to get for everyone, even the most casual player. And you buy these boxes and you can open it yourself on the same character, or maybe to the other characters, because this is not bound to the character and it's rather account bound until you open it. If you open it, it stops to be, it's bound to the character itself. So you can farm these boxes, send them all to an alt, to a fresh level 70 character, open them all up. You'll get about 4 40 or 50 gear that can be upgradable to 60 something. It's like champion gear. This is huge. You can already convert them to tier sets. This is a gear from dungeons, and you can have your best in slot items. You can get a lot of cool stuff. So I hope you enjoyed. This is the guide on how to fast get gear. I'll tell you that within, and you can also actually buy stuff on the auction house or go to a 2x4 gold farm. You can check my other video on that, and farm BOEs to gear yourself or whatever, or your alts. So you can even do it at here on the Fire Earth BOE farm 2x4. But yeah, just know that within 0 to 10 hours your character is full ready to play. If it was already level 70, it will be like at least 420, if not 440 or 50 already within 0 to 10 hours. Then some more play sessions in on different weeks and whatnot, you will so fast reach level 470 and be ready to do anything in the game and just have fun. I hope you enjoyed. These were the core systems and how to do it, and as always, take care.